Alright, it is 1:15 a.m. on November 15th, 2025. Good morning, y'all. It's Timidity. If you're like, how has it been, Timidity? You sound like you're miserable. I am. I had a C4 energy drink just so I could stop the noise in my brain and experience silence. And then when it started kicking in again and getting too much, I resorted to my favorite natural antidepressant, Mountain Dew. Not the diet kind. It's helping, even though I was standing and swaying, excuse me, very idly, not knowing where I would drift next. I want you to imagine how I'm feeling. If you were to ask me like a month ago how I think my life would be in November, I'd say happy and stable. You want to guess what happened? I'll give you the rundown of some Timidity updates on news. I found out my grandmother is dying. Not the one with the feces on the walls, the other one, the annoying Muslim one. I don't have a stance on it. I don't feel anything, really. Isn't that a shame? That's someone who used to pray for me allegedly every single day. But then again, she's also the lady that openly made jokes about how I should have been aborted again and again and again and again. And also when I did escape from my abusive mother who sat her vagina on my face and tried to claw at my fucking eyeballs until my face was bloodied and scarred, she proceeded to repeat the abusive tactics that she knew my mom already was doing to psychologically manipulate me and make me feel dressed because she herself was getting tired of me. Also, she herself is not a good person. I left that woman's apartment 5 years ago. I haven't seen them as family since. I'll put it this way. You can't pull the we're family card if before I starved and had winters where I thought I would die. And then you wanna, like, I'm just saying. She knows what she fucking did. 1 second. Alright, back. As I was saying, I'm extremely fucking. Sorry, 1 second. Whew. As I was saying, my dear, it's just like, I'm sorry. It's like, well, no, I'm not exactly sorry. I hate to admit it, I'm not sorry. It's been 5 years of estrangement. A guilt trip is not gonna make me invite terrible people back into my life because a part of me knows it's like, the only way I would ever be around any of these people is if I brought my shit packed and locked and loaded, and we don't want that. And if I feel the need to do that, simply put, I am in the wrong space with the wrong fucking people. And why would I ever want to share space with them? No offense. I don't like, just there's nothing there. I don't have much to say, but I've already joked about it in another video. It's like, why would I come back into someone's life where they wouldn't accept a single thing about me? The fact that I'm trans in a confusing ass way that I understand most people won't get, but don't worry, no one comes out the other side happy when I try to explain it. People understand it. It's just like a confusing mix of like non-binary gender fluid bullshit, and it's just like I don't have time to explain my gender to people. It's the thing I care about the least for the most part, but everyone else cares about the most, or in a weird stupid fucking way. I don't know, you know what I mean? And it's like what, I'm gonna come back into her life and be like, what's up, I fuck white boys who are evil and I'm gay, but don't worry, I haven't eaten pussy yet, and I like men giving me money for activities that are inappropriate. And then what? It's like I don't think that's gonna make her heart any better. Like, no offense. And I don't, like, how do I put this? Anytime they have mentioned her, it's never any talk about she misses you, she wants to see you. Like, none of that comes up at all. At all, it doesn't come up. We ended things on purpose 5 years ago for a reason. I don't really care about any of those people. No offense, it's like I've gotten used to for a very long time not celebrating holidays, birthdays, big events. I've suffered without their help. No offense, I'm finally happy. It seems actually kind of disgusting that some of these people want to come back. And I know that sounds so cruel, but there's no better way to put it. Like, I don't know how to explain it. It's just like it's at the point where when I saw the family member who told me the news, I didn't even recognize them at first. And when they kept saying I love you, I was just like, I'm it's good that you seem to be well. Like, I couldn't say anything more. When you were around, I didn't like you. When they were like, just reaping what we have sown, and there's nothing else I can do about it, is just all I can really say. Like, no offense, I wrote entire horror scripts about what you put me through before I abandoned you all. Because, like, when you were about to toss me on the street 5 fucking years ago, I don't know what you want me to say. Like, fuck you, I'm not coming back. What, for more religious guilt and insults and threats? Hell no. Sorry, fuck that shit. Hate to say it, but at the same time, that's my truth and I'm living in it. Which is a damn shame. But they told me if there's anything in my heart that remembers good times with them to come back before it's too late and before they lose any more members of the family. And I get it in concept. And they said, you're our baby, you're our only baby. I don't remember, like, I'll put it this way, post estrangement, I don't remember them doing shit for me. I don't recall anything. I'm just saying, just for a million fucking reasons, there's just, I don't feel anything. I remember when I was younger, I remember crying to my mother about how I didn't feel anything about my biological father and how I felt like a bad person. And she cried because she was like, fuck, I chose such a deadbeat for my fucking kid's biological father that she's out here thinking she's a fucking psychopath because she simply doesn't care if he lives or dies and doesn't have an opinion on him. But he reaped what he has sown. He saw my mom beat me for hours on the fucking floor as a kid and laid up in bed with her trying to cuddle her and fuck her, even after he knew it's like, yeah, my daughter got her ass beat by her mother for 8 fucking hours, scalded with hot water, freezing water. Her older brother was forced to stare at her naked, a bunch of disgusting, traumatic shit. And he still laid up with that whore, and to this day he still would. There's nothing about these people. No, I remember them trying to force my dad to hug me, and a mutual disgust on both ends. Just, I don't know how to explain it further. There's nothing. I have a life that younger me always wanted, free from all of these people. I'm not inviting that back in, and I'm actually pretty happy about it. I know you see me crying, but that's just because I've had a lot of energy drinks in my system. I'm hitting the 300 milligram limit, close to 400 milligrams, and just like, I don't know, I think I'm more emotional because of the fact that I don't care and it makes me look like a bad person. But why should I? They didn't care and it made them look like bad people to say that all trans and gay people are going to burn in hell and suffer and deserve to fucking rot in hell, and that anywhere where they exist is going to explode in hellfire like Sodom and Gomorrah. And I saw my grandmother say that with a smile on her fucking face. I saw her say terrible things about me, alluding that if I didn't forgive my terrible mother, who in hindsight was very abusive in almost every way you can think of, disgusting ways, you should never treat your fucking child. And she tried to allude that if I didn't forgive my mom and move back in with her, I'd be burning in hell. Simply put, like, that's why I'm so against religion. I was already against religious indoctrination for a lot of reasons, but it's like you joked about how I should be fucking aborted and how I should have never been born. You were in the delivery room when my mother was pushing me out, and it took hours to get me out. And you were still there, smug in my mom's face, about how it all could have been avoided, all the pain and suffering, had she just aborted me. You evil fucking woman. I don't know how to explain it even more, but you reap what you sow. The beautiful moments have long been outshone because there have been several times. Like, it's like, okay, cool, you bought me clothes when I was 12 and got my hair braided a few times. Good for fucking you. Yay, you put me onto anime like Black Butler and told me about, like, ooh, like mild fucking manner shit that, like, I could have learned off of Pinterest without you. I'm gonna be fucking honest. But thank you for that, the blessings at least. Like, there were some blessings in my youth, but I have to say, those eventually were long gone. When I was a teenager, and it all went so awful, where the fuck was she? Where are any today? I was alone, I learned how to be alone, and I am happy alone. And I know you're like, are you really happy alone? Well, you just wait, I have more shit to talk about in this video. But I will say, no matter how bad my life is, the idea of having them around disgusts me even more. actually just like, ew. It's like, no offense, I don't like, I'd rather spend another Thanksgiving in my house masturbating all day instead of hoping, like, what would I, like, just, yeah, no, it's okay. God be with you and enjoy the consequences of your actions. God bless and amen. And you didn't fight to get me out of that situation when I was a kid. You didn't fight to make your son a better man. You know you didn't do all you could to do right by me, and you could have. And instead you enabled your grown-ass son to be pathetic. I have nothing to say to you people. I remember, funny enough, when my grandmother first took me in after I was escaping from my mother, she said something along the lines of, pretend everything you had at her house burned away in a house fire and doesn't exist. And that no one at that house exists and it's just you now. And then, funny enough, it took like a month or two for me to have to take that advice with her. I burned the bridges ages ago. There's no chance of rebuilding. And I know you're like, will you regret that later? Time will tell. But the good thing is, I have time to figure out if I want to change my mind or not. All I know is my grandmother was very set in her ways with how she treated me, and I remember how awful it was. It was psychological torment. I wrote entire horror scripts based off of how traumatic this shit was. There's nothing you can really say to make me ever think about going back. No, thank you. Also, funny enough, my head has been in throbbing pain all week, and now I'm feeling a massive bunch of scabs forming along my hairline. Very interesting. That also explains why I've been so cranky lately. I guess my Haitian my Haitian braider said I wanted the braids tightly done at the root, and let's just say that explains why I've been having endless headaches, migraines, and feeling like my scalp is splitting apart because it low-key, like, is splitting apart. Jesus Christ, I didn't notice how big my parting got until right now. Ouch. I might have to talk to her. I might have to be like, hey girl, I have a large, like, people have been saying I look good though, and I do feel, like, I don't know. Damn, this shit hurts. Stop touching it. You're reopening scabs, which is ironically what I want to avoid with my biological family on my dad's side. There's nothing there, so let's not reopen those wounds. Let them heal over and forget about them until we forget they were ever there. That's the motto. Just like how the face scars are gone and the emotional scars are gone, I'm pleasantly happy. And that feels good. Well, that was cathartic. I forgot whatever else I was going to talk about excuse me, tonight. Oh, this is what I was going to talk about. I guess it's just like been a weird week for me. I was like, I'm gonna throw myself into reinventing a whole brand new lady, a whole brand new Timidity. Or not brand new, just the best version of myself. For example, some of you have been around for a while, you've seen how it's been. Me having tangled hair that I rip out, and wearing the same bummy clothes over and over again and crying over white boys. And when I found that surprise money in my account, I was like, I'm gonna get my skin right, my hair done. I'm gonna throw as much money as I can into running like comedy showcases, event performances, like even more full throttle to the point where I make even more money off of it. I'm gonna buy a bunch of beautiful, expensive, exotic clothes to really show off my looks, and I'm going to be out and about socializing, having a great life, and just being so highly vibrational and happy. And you want to know what happened? All the people I thought were friends before are no longer friends. Not even a little bit. All of them gone. The huge showcase I've been planning since August, gone. The clothes I wanted to order, funny enough, most of them could not be delivered. They got delivered to an address of someone who is now an enemy, but also has a place riddled with package thieves. So, I have to awkwardly wait to get all my money back, and even then, fingers crossed, I can get my fucking Shein package of like 400, 300 bucks worth of clothing, either just sent back to the sender and I get a refund, or given to me so I can fucking get my items. I hope I get that. I really want my items. I want to feel good, confident, happy, and love who I see in the mirror. And I want to be warm during the winter and cozy. I don't want it to be like the other years before where I'm just fucking miserable. I want the best for myself. And so far I've been doing good. I've been letting things roll off my back like water on a duck, or whatever the fuck an old boss of mine said, the only good advice she had ever given me at that job. She deserves to get sued, by the way, wage theft and all, but, you know, a lot of things have been happening that have been trying to knock me down, and I've been smiling through it all. But don't you eventually get tired of trying to smile through it all? Don't you get tired of building things up and seeing life just knock it down like an abusive boyfriend? Like you see those videos online where like a girl builds a puzzle or something she's really proud of, and then her boyfriend is like, "Oh, I like that puzzle you just made," and then takes it and slams it into a wall or punches it or breaks it apart just to purposely fuck with you. I mean, fuck with the girl. That's how it feels like life is recently. Like in so many different instances. And it's exhausting. I know we can see it as life putting us on a path that is like what our main goal is or like higher plane is, but don't you get tired? Like my phone fucking broke. And I've mentioned this before. It's like, I don't know. I'll say it like this. My phone broke recently. And I feel like that was a domino knocking into place that meant I was going to separate from my comedy buddy. I guess I just outgrew him. He was already becoming more of a liability, and I guess the universe or whatever higher power was like, Tamidi's not going to cut this guy off because they're long term friends. Even though he's kind of shitty at times and he's starting to, like, he can't properly even read a list of names. He's being lazy, he's being stupid, he's abusing substances, he's being lame, and he's gonna hold her back and sabotage their events. So I wouldn't be shocked if it was just a domino in place that's just like, alright, we have to teach Tamidi how to be independent and confident and know that she can run this event without him. So I wouldn't be shocked if it's like, because I'll put it this way, the way my phone broke was a little bit too coincidental. Because I'll put it this way, imagine if I tell somebody, hey Joe, can I use your phone charger real quick? I don't want my phone to die as I'm doing welcome music. He's like, yeah, yeah, sure, grab it out of my bag. He watched me grab it out of his bag and plug it in. And I repeatedly was using my phone on the charger during the show. He saw it was my phone, but he's stupid as fuck, a stupid, idiot, stupid ass old man. Idiotic as fuck. And he decided to go out of his way to be like, "Oh, who's using my phone charger? Hey, Ro, is this your phone charger? Is this your phone? No, whose charger is it?" As he hears me repeatedly saying the words, "Joe, that's my Joe, that's my phone. Joe, that's my phone. Yeah, that's my phone. You gave me the charger. Joe, hey, that's mine." And then this idiot with his fucked up clogged ass ears and his Benadryl, Ozempic, and coffee indulging ass, he does this petty move that he thinks he can get away with because he somehow forgot it was my phone. The way he, I'll put it this way, imagine you had a device that was like plugged into something important. Actually, here, I'll show an example. If you had this sitting on a ledge, like a phone, and it was plugged in, and you, like, any smart person would go, I'm going to just He didn't. He purposely knocked that shit over. The way he yanked the cord and then the phone fell off and hit the ground sideways, no phone case on it or anything. And if you saw it, you would have seen the way he like purposely snatched that shit as hard as possible, then did a fake ass, oh, whoops. I know his petty ass. Fuck him. So and then mysteriously my phone stopped working like the very next day. It could have not been him, it could have been something else, but that was like a stone that like knocked into play, like a domino just tipping over that started the end of our friendship. And then cue everything else that just started fucking it up. And I'll put it this way, the betrayal they did to me hurt. One second. The betrayal they did hurt like a fucking bitch. Like a bitch. I didn't like it at all. Obviously, because it's a betrayal, but still, it's like, come on now. And anyway, let's just say series of events happened where eventually I just had to cut their bitch ass off. And lo and behold, I cut their bitch ass off and life got super fucking easy. Like, I got a new person in my life now who's my new comedy buddy, and he will, like, now he's the one who will take me out to any open mics or showcases I want, will pay for my food and drink, have wonderful, pleasant conversations with me, and also he's not some old ass fucking loser who's abusing substances and scares off an audience by saying sex offender level jokes. It's actually quite refreshing. So, yeah. And then on top of that, it's like, I already, like, life continued on until like the same evening that I had my new comedy buddy as my new host. Next thing you know, the owner started bullshit with me, where it's like, hey, we can't do your open mic every week anymore. It has to be once a month, blah, blah, blah. And then time went on. And then you want to know what I did? I decided, okay, I'll put it this way. I don't know how to say the way I was like, okay, we could just stop running the event because, once a month is already just kind of like over and done with. We could just wrap it up. And then the way the owners started begging and pleading, and then we tried to still make it work, and I was about to accept it, even though it was still offering scraps. They were like, we can still do that holiday market, like showcase thing you want to do, and I was planning it, planning it, planning it. But, like, the owners were starting to show signs of incompetency, and then it just got to the point where it's like, okay, they started trying to get out of just directly confirming that our event would not be at risk of cancellation if I were to throw hundreds of dollars into advertising, booking comedians and performers, decorating, all that shit. And they started getting snarky with me. So then recently I just was like, yeah, like just the other day, I was like, yeah, let's just wrap this up then. Never mind, no more open mic. And no more showcase. Let me stop stressing you out. We can just find a venue that's more compatible. And they got so mad that they blocked me. And it's like, yeah, well, suck my dick, nigga. I don't know what you wanted. I don't know what you expected. Like, eventually, I just had enough self worth to just be like, yeah, this is not worth my fucking time. Like, just like how my comedy buddy tried to strip me of funds despite me putting in so much effort, I just said, okay, fuck them and fuck what they have, and they can do without me, and I'll do without them, and we'll be better off for it with no disrespect. Amen. And then and then with the venue I just cut ties with, I'll put it this way. They were upset as fuck, but I don't get why. It's like, yeah, I'll put it this way. I'm the one booking hot talent. I'm the one with the money. I'm the one with the advertising, and I was trying to see if I can make your business take off and my brand. And you were willing to sabotage all of it because you're an incompetent boomer fuck who doesn't know what he's doing and can't run a fucking business. So suck my cock. Anyway, but it was funny because today, like, one of the bartenders for the venue actually reached out to me and was like, please, 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 whatever you do, if you can one day, like, find it in your heart to forgive the owner because he's dumb as fuck, we would love that. And, like, we would still love to have your open mic. Please, I hope there's a way to work it out. We love having you here. I was so confused because it's like, mind you, this man doesn't even really show up. I don't even think he's attended even one fucking open mic night at all. But even he was like, we fucking love you. We don't want you to leave. And he told me the tea because the venue told me that they were struggling financially. But then the bartender told me, please don't tell the owners this or else I might get fired. But then he just explained it's like this one shitty bartender was just mad that comedians weren't tipping him enough and he was starting to get burnt out. And the owner just couldn't think or find staff members who wanted to work on that Mondays. And like it's a stupid ass process. Let's just say it's so I'm gonna say the R word in a second if God help me, but let's just say it was so unbelievably stupid that it doesn't even make sense. It's like, okay, so let me get this straight. Instead of just saying, hey, Timothy, sadly, we don't have a member of staff who will be able to go on super late into the evening so that we can do your comedy show, especially super late into the evening. But even then, the evening that we did it last, we didn't go super late in the evening. We wrapped up at like 8:45. It was our earliest night in months, and we used to go until like 11 or 9:30. So for us to wrap up at 8:45, that's a new record of like I'm just saying. So the bartender was just a dick. He's always been a dick to me. Either way, the owner made a very fucking stupid decision because it's like if you like comedy and you love the event and your bartender is like, "Hi, I only work one day a week and I only work Mondays, but listen, I might have to quit in the next few weeks if we're going to keep doing comedy on Mondays." It's extremely stupid to be like, "Huh, should we get rid of the guy who we only have one day a week, who is kind of fucking miserable anyway?" and an asshole? Or should we keep this event that's a hit at our venue that everyone fucking loves and we get big turnouts for? And the owner is so unbelievably stupid that he chose, yeah, let's sacrifice the comedy that everyone loves and make up a fake ass excuse and lie to Mia. Surely that'll work out. So frankly, it's funny how the bartender was trying to tell me that, thinking it would make me feel better, but it just made me feel even more secure because like, okay, this venue owner is just straight up really stupid to an because it's like if I were in his shoes, I'd just be like, okay, we'll find a new member of staff in the next few weeks. It was nice having you. Not, okay, guy who works once a week, we'll prioritize you over our biggest money maker that we all always attend each week and all love and enjoy. That was so fucking stupid. And I don't know, there just seems like there's more to it. Just so much lame ass weird shit about it. But I don't know. I don't care. All I know is I'm not gonna get people who were on Jimmy Fallon and a huge roster of comedians and invest so much time, effort, love, heart, and soul, blood, sweat, and tears into an event just to not even be guaranteed by the venue that they won't cancel. Something seemed really up with the venue, and all I know is I'm washing my hands of them because fuck them. Also, I just realized I was twisting my armpit hair on camera. I'm sorry. Jesus. Fuck it. You've seen worse. I've said I was gonna say and do so much worse. It's like, you know what? We should just be happy that I'm mellow. Because if you knew what I was gonna talk about when I opened up this fucking camera, let me just say, you can handle me twisting my armpit hair. And if you're like, Timothy, why did you invest hella money into expensive clothing, but not a trimmer? Obviously, I was gonna buy a trimmer after the expensive clothing. Yeah, but whatever. Also, armpit hair has not been scaring niggas. If any, like, you'd be surprised. I actually have videos of niggas sniffing my armpit. Like, men ask to. It's weird. Sorry, let me stop showing it to you. If it, also the way I'm spreading it, you don't want to. Some people are into a lady spreading it, but it's like, ew, you gotta pay for that. I feel like bad, like I showed you free feet pics or something. Ew, don't look at that, pervert. Sorry. Jesus. God bless. Anyway, it's just all so silly. And yeah, it's like, it is affirming that even multiple big comedians who don't even inherently give a shit about me heard about all that's happened, excluding the recent events I just told you about that the bartenders told me in secret. But they were like, yeah, that even before that, they were like, that sounds fishy and stupid. And honestly, if they have like 7 days a week and they're choosing to cancel their biggest event to try to cancel more shitty gamble events like the rest of their events in the week, then it's a shitty fucking business and they deserve to close down and suffer. And it's like, they were openly like, that's a business that needs to shut the fuck down and they fucking suck and they should all burn in hell. And I was like, damn, nigga. It's like, mind you, I'm a pretty spiteful person myself. And even I was like, hey, 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 I don't know. I don't know about all that. But I like your chutzpah. I like your energy. I'm smiling so hard I'm splitting my scalp again. Also, it is funny how I've had immense scalp pain. I was gaslighting myself all week. I was like, it feels like my scalp is splitting apart every time I smile or laugh too hard. So anytime I felt happiness or joy for the past 2 weeks, it has felt like my scalp was literally splitting. And it's so funny that as I'm recording this video, it turns out I was just gaslighting myself, and my scalp was indeed splitting, and now there's a huge scab forming in the middle of my head, and even when I laugh now, it still is itching and burning and hurting. So, okay. It's like beauty is pain, I guess. God damn, I know I said I wanted tight braids, but shit! I wish you could feel it. It literally feels like a fucking crystal geode. Right here. I gotta put some Dugro oil and some fucking shea butter souffle on my scalp instantly. I need to stop touching that. It's gonna make it hurt worse. Also, I think that's just like an analogy also for like how I'm handling life right now. If I just don't dwell on the pain, it doesn't hurt me because I just get to let it scab over. I could have cried more about my phone not working and all the beautiful videos, photos, and more being lost, and how I can only ever post content online with my shitty ass fucking laptop camera or this shitty ass A13 tablet that was gifted to me as a guilt gift and by my fucking ex comedy buddy. It's so like it's so shitty that even if I download a video off of Instagram or even over text. Like if someone sends me a photo and I try to download it, it shows up as a random white square with an error message in the phone gallery, in the tablet gallery. It's so fucking shitty, dude. It's like Jesus. Like really, if like even I don't get my comedy buddy's logic. Even if you didn't know whose phone it was, you didn't need to throw it across the room. What the fuck is or throw it on the ground? Whatever. Fuck that dude. He's a loser. I appreciate the tablet at least. Better this than nothing. But still, goddamn. Could have offered to. I don't even want to know how much this tablet cost, because in hindsight, he probably could have just offered to pay to get my phone fixed or whatever. I'm just saying. Whatever. Either way, like I said, I haven't been dwelling on the phone thing because I was just like, nope, I'm not gonna let life get me down. I'm gonna be high vibrational. I'm gonna just keep focusing on my goals. You wanna know what else happened? I lost the fucking fat ass diamond to my favorite diamond ring that I wanted to pass down to my grandchildren as an heirloom. That fucking vanished out of nowhere, and it's like, bitch. I remember though, that was my comedy buddy's big night at this huge comedy venue, getting on stage for the first time, along with the Jimmy Fallon comic, and I thought to myself, I will not ruin this night for them by being emotional. I will just trust the process and trust that the universe will get me even more amazingly beautiful, gorgeous jewelry just like they did before, and I will stay lucky and abundant and have a wonderful time. And yeah, life will go amazing. You want to know what else happened? Uh, what else? A lot of, yeah, the Shein order of clothes. Like, I'll put it this way, it would be nice to receive it. It would be nice to get a refund. I don't know if I'll crash out if I don't get my clothes back. I'll just try to think to myself, okay, I lost 400 bucks, but you know what? Frankly, even getting the random thousand, almost 1,500 bucks that I did get, like, even that was extreme luck. That was sudden and out of nowhere when I was content or just barely surviving on nothing. So it's like, I just have, sometimes you gotta have the mindset of, the money was a surprise. And so losing money by surprise, it kind of just puts me almost back at square one. I'm still better off than whatever I was doing a month ago financially, and that is a blessing. I have my hair done and I still have excess money to pay for whatever I need to survive through the winter. Amen. God bless and amen. Knock on wood, of course. And like, let me tell you, I have been swallowing so much. When I got threatened to get murdered by that white supremacist, I swallowed that down, the misery of all of it, and I just decided, you know what, I'm not gonna just sit here and cry like a little bitch. I know myself, I'm fucking big Mitty. I'm gonna grab this nigga by the balls and swing him into a fucking wall. And I know you're like, what the fuck analogy is that? I mean, I did what I do best. I made shit happen, good and bad. And let's just say I had my natural shit stirring abilities kick in and I did what was best for myself. And if that meant hurting the fuck out of him, then okay, I hurt the fuck out of him, and I don't even regret it. God bless. Amen. Because you know what? He didn't regret his lame ass bullshit. Amen. And then let's see. And I don't know. I'm just trying to stay positive. So now that I don't have like the comedy showcase I've been planning since August gonna go down anymore, and I don't have that open mic happening anymore, and the business has severed ties with me, all over some stupid ass bullshit, which actually just further proves that cutting them off was the right choice because it's a business that doesn't know how to run itself and to de escalate and prioritize or anything. So, yeah, they'll reap what they sow. Amen. And then as for me, it's like, okay, I guess it's just like, if you would have asked me a week ago, I would have been like, yeah, I'm gonna have like all the cute clothes I want. I'm gonna have like all these comedy events lined up every week. I'm gonna be packed and busy with my open mic and planning a showcase and doing this and that. And now all of it has vanished almost every overnight. Almost all of it. Thankfully, I've gotten some refunds back from Amazon and like I'm just saying, some stuff has worked out, some stuff has not. But I will say this. I feel I'm staying positive and I'm overlooking so much of it. But sometimes life does feel like death by a thousand paper cuts. Even though, honestly, they're not paper cuts. Some of this shit has been full on, like, Ides of March level backstabbings, and front stabbings, and side stabbings. It's like, god damn. How many times can a bitch get jabbed and still smile? And I'm trying my fucking best. But you know what? I tried. And I'm still trying, and I'm succeeding pretty well. Because you know what? Here I am looking beautiful on a nice night. Feeling pretty good. And I guess, like, about my situation, I don't feel, like, that bad. I guess, like, if I had an analogy to describe how I was feeling, I'd say I feel like someone who's on a lazy river. in one of those big donut-shaped floaties, and I'm just like sitting on top of it, just slowly swaying from side to side. Super, super slow, and I don't know where I'm going yet. I'm not thinking about that. All I know is I'm just in a little drifting little plane. And I'll get to where I'm going at some point, and who knows what's gonna happen. Just like I'm not thinking about it. No offense if I were to think about it. So I'm not thinking about it. All I know is I'm trying my best. Maybe I'll try to download some Steam games or something. I'll get back into playing like Honey Pop and Sam and Max and Beholder and letting myself get wrapped up in video game lore. I guess I could get back into screenwriting. I do have a few masterpiece scripts that I do actually want to work on and finish. Although, I don't know, have you ever backed away from a huge project for so long that even thinking about getting back into it feels like a mountain? Like the equivalent of like you almost finished climbing Mount Everest but then slid all the way down and now you have to start from the beginning. But I guess it's like, hey, I have the time. And I don't have to climb the full Mount Everest. I can just simply be like, I'll just simply take a little small stroll around the rim of Mount Everest and go up as little bit as possible. Just a few footsteps, see how I feel. And let's see how it is. And I still have projects to work on. I still have that Christmas wig that I'm almost done with, actually. It doesn't take much to finish it now. I still have that Christmas dress project with all the fabric and the beads and the gemstones. All I really need is to order another roll of fabric, and that'll be easy with Amazon Prime, and just like researching what fabric might do best for it. And it'll be fun, it'll be cute. And then on top of that, it's like, what else would I like? I guess it's just like, I don't know. I was worried before about like if everything doesn't happen the way I want it to happen, and if I don't, like, like, oh, I want to be the hottest bitch with the most practical, cute, bad bitch clothing, and I want to have the most amazing, successful event, and I have to get it all perfect. And now, ironically, all that stuff is gone. And it turns out it never fucking mattered as much as I thought it did. It's not life or death. It doesn't pay my bills. My reputation doesn't really need fixing, and I don't really care about comedians anyway. It just would have been nice to do for fun. And it's like, okay, now I'm back at square one. Life isn't inherently bad. It's just like, alright, what comes next? And do I care that much? Like, before I made this video, I was passively suicidal, and now I'm just kind of like, eh, who knows? Anything could happen this winter that'll make me so happy my plans didn't work out. Maybe I'll meet better venues. Maybe I'll back away from comedy entirely and just go back to being an audience member and just be grateful for the times I had as a producer and then go right back into screenwriting or, I don't know, have some cute little, I don't know, just enjoy being single and cute. Maybe I'll sew, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll bake, maybe I won't. Maybe I'll just have a winter inside playing video games and eating Popeyes, which actually sounds pretty good. A lot of potential, and I'm excited to see what happens next, and yet I'm not in no rush. Amen.